If every time you get a new client pre-qualified, every time you write a new offer, every time you get a new listing, if those all become endorphin releases, then you can have a lot of really great days in your real estate career. But if it's just closing and you close 22 deals a year, 22 out of 365 is not a lot of celebrations. So we need to find the little victories along the way every single day. So Angie, talk about your process, like what keeps you driven, like how are you able to keep doing what you do on a daily basis, even though you're having incredible success?
It's like what you just said. When I erase one, then I feel sad because then my number goes down. But then when I get to put a deal on the board, it's exciting because half of it's like, will this one stay there or will it fall out?
Right.
So you just have to keep replenishing that list. Like I think at the beginning of the year, I was up to 15, and you guys know I lost my mind for like probably 2 weeks. But now I'm trying to get back there again so I can lose my mind. And like having Jake comes in this morning. I go, I just got to 10, and he's like, yeah. He's like, I'm 2 behind you. And that means that he went in and counted this morning, and that got me like all fired up. And so just putting new ones on the board is for me a lot. But I mean, of course I love seeing, dollars appear in my checking account, but it's just a fun circle. And like when you start to get phone calls over the weekend from somebody that you sold a house to 3 years ago, their friend wants you to help, it's just, I don't know, it's just the whole wheel is awesome.
Yeah.
And I wish that I had started when I was like Jackson, so that I could be, well, I might not be sitting here right now if I started when I was your age. So it's just an awesome career to have picked.
I had an agent hit me up and say like, hey Joe, how do we help a buyer get a pre-foreclosure home? And I mean, Taylor and I in 05, 06, 07, like that's how we made our living, was on foreclosures and pre-foreclosures. Right now, I can't even imagine what would lead someone to be in a pre-foreclosure situation. And the reality is, there was no home, there was just a theory that the buyers had. And he said, well, the buyers think that they can go get a $340,000 home for $250,000. And I said, like, on the phone, bro, you are wasting your time. Like, go find another client. And it's not that we don't want to help people get good deals, it's just that it's just not even real. Like, why? So if you have someone looking to sell a home, like Taylor said, we can kill it for them, and the sky's really the limit. And it keeps. So I think I told you guys about it. A friend of mine from hockey wanted to sell his home. We looked at the comps; it was like $325. He was like, "Let's list it for $350," and I had to like swallow my pride and say, "Okay, we can try it." And then we sold for $360 in 2 days. And then the appraiser hit us up like, "Hey, do you have any supported comps to And we basically threw our hands up in the air and said, well, comps are around 325, but we did get 4 offers. And then the appraisal came in at 360. It's crazy. I don't even know what they base the appraisal off of. So the bank hires the appraiser. So the end bank or the intermediary bank who funds the loan and then tries to go sell it, that's who the appraiser works for. And the spirit of the appraisal is to say, if Arlie's selling her home and Angie is the bank and Chloe is the lender has to do their due diligence to make sure that Angie's money is protected when it loans on Arlie's home, that if the purchase price is $400, Angie has to be protected in knowing that if the buyer forecloses on the property, they can get their money back. So it's always been based off of comparable sales. So this was the first time I've heard of an appraiser actually using number of offers and price of those offers to justify. So maybe
what we're seeing is a lot of really persistent people that are working super hard. But Joe and I, over the last 15 years, we've seen so many agents come in and work really hard to get started, get things going, get a couple deals, 3-4 deals, and then they kind of slide off. So we're excited right now. We feel like we have the most persistent group and also the most consistent group. So hopefully, it's just that consistency. You look at Angie and what she's done, and she's one of the most consistent people I've ever seen when it comes to real estate. And I think that's the key right now. Stuff is going great, but don't take your foot off the gas. Don't stop being persistent even when you've achieved that consistency of persistence.
Yeah.
But just keep going.
That's the secret. But it's all based on the law of attraction and like the whether you think you can or you think you can't, you're right type stuff. I think Angie is really good with clients because she knows when she gets someone on the phone, if there is a deal to be done, she can get a deal put together. And I think when you're working from a theoretical standpoint of going like, I know Jake does it, but I've yet to see it happen, you can almost work a little bit more skeptically than if you know what can happen. And so I've been trying to dissect like a Area 51 alien, like how is Angie doing what she's doing? And I think it is that persistence and consistency. And then I also think there's just a deep-rooted belief that she has that when she talks to a potential customer, A, she's got their best interest in heart, and B, if there is a deal to be done, she can get it done. And so when there are objections brought up by a potential client, she's done so many deals and worked through so many objections that she just knows what to say to them. I also think she enjoys that part of the business. Like she enjoys the challenge of taking somebody she doesn't know and turning them into a lifelong friend and client. And she's really good at it. And so I think working on your self-belief as well, just knowing that like you guys have the team support to put deals together. Closing quote, Ralph Waldo Emerson, that which we persist in doing becomes easier, not that the task itself becomes any less, but our ability to do so becomes greater. So you guys are all, you're not yet at the 10,000 hour mastery mark as far as lead conversion and follow-up. Some of you may be getting close, but you should be more effective at it now than you were a month ago and a month ago and a month ago. And so just keep doing what you're doing and recognize that you're building a skill set that's going to be able to feed your family for the rest of your life. And so as long as you continue to do it, it's going to feel easier, not that it truly is, but you're just better at it because you've done it so much.